We are live. We are direct. She leads, she sells with Danyel Brisk, the founder of the newest AI company that is mixing holistic health, wellness with automations, where she steps into serving and letting people know automation is not about doing less. It is about making space for what you do best.
Yeah.
Systems with souls. Brisk AI Solutions.com. Welcome in a brisk
Thank you.
fashion, Danyel Brisk.
I feel like I'm at a stadium now. My gosh, thank you, Jay.
No worries. Let's dig into this. Sales. Tell me why sales is important. How are you selling?
Yeah, I do have a background in sales, in person, online, so in marketing, but in my new endeavor right now with Brisk AI Solutions, it's really been a lot. Well, it's really been through what you focus on. It was just through relationship building, and that's been really key for me, and will continue to be. That's definitely going to be going to continue to be my focus. Is just through networking events, talking to people in person. The in-person events, yes, they still happen, and and just sharing honestly about what I do. Now I am building similar types of platforms, or I'm working on building similar types of platforms that you have, to create spaces like podcasts, or, video spaces for people to come on and to also share about their expertise. So building relationships that way. So, like you say, it's all about relationships.
So you mentioned in terms of your new endeavor, signing clients. How are you signing those clients in terms of sales mechanisms?
So the sales process, first you have to get crystal clear on what you're offering, right? I guess that goes without saying, but at the same time, that can be a big stumbling block for people. Is like, okay, how do I package it? What am I offering? So that's, of course, a lot of the preliminary work. At the same time, I find that, maybe this is universal, but I would say specifically important for women to remember, and me included, that we don't need everything tied nicely with a bow. We don't need everything perfect and 100%. And, before offering it to the world, before launching, because oftentimes it's going to change anyways, when we start offering it and really finding out what fits, what, people actually need. So just putting yourself out there, just starting those conversations, and then following up, okay, sounds like this is a service that could really help you. So let's follow up, let's talk, and, and this is how I work, and go from there. It was pretty simple.
How are you helping people? Like, who's your target market? What do you do for them?
Okay. So I've engaged in a really extensive AI and automation consulting training. So I have a framework that I use, and then constantly learning about, the AI tools that are still, evolving. But it's not so much about keeping up with the tools, it's more just knowing the framework about, look at workflows, and how to think about workflows, which we do. We are doing tasks throughout the day, but oftentimes without thinking clearly about, okay, what is really the most, beneficial way to do this? If I'm going to be repeating the same task over and over, can I create a system for it one time? Maybe takes a couple extra minutes up front, but saves you hours, days, throughout the year. So that's what I'm really helping people with, is finding those individual workflows, but I work with people in a systematic way, ideally. Sure, we can go in and just, like, if there's one focus, like, this is my main bottleneck, so I'll, this is really my main bottleneck, is stumbling block. It keeps tripping me up, taking too much time, marketing. Just let's work on that. Great. So we can address that, bring in some AI tools that'll really help, specifically with those tasks, bring in the automation, and, but always keeping the human in the loop, always keeping, as they say, the, the personalization. And so there's a way to strike a balance. So it still is and feels very human and very personalized to what each person is offering, and at the same time can take a big load off someone's workload.
Nah, that makes complete sense. What's the goal? 12 months from now, what's the big goal for your business 12 months from now?
Yeah, so I love working with wellness practices. I have a particular passion for holistic health, or all kinds of businesses that are really heart-centered, really mission-driven. I really, so I've been seeking out particular businesses that I resonate with. And so I'm looking to partner with at least 10 uh, new businesses each month, on a on a ongoing basis within a year. So then I have support people that I'm working with to help implement, and maybe a little team of people to help with the implementation and to keep these businesses running, because it's not a nice to have anymore. These automation and AI services are actually going to make it or break it for businesses within a couple years' time, so they can get ahead of the curve and start optimizing their operations now, or they're going to be forced to soon.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Who's your ideal client? Are they doing 1 million a year? Have they got between 5 and 20 people? Who's ideal for you, and why are they ideal for you?
I love working with solopreneurs, solo practitioners, those people, who are really working hard and have way too many hats on, because I've been there, so I can relate to that. But also small, like you said, about 5 to 20, people centers, wellness centers, or other small businesses, people that really have a strong mission and want to grow and have a bigger vision, that they just, but the daily operations are bogging them down, so they can't reach that bigger vision yet. So I want to clear the path so that we can get there and then help them scale.
Yeah, I think you're onto a winner here in terms of the wellness and the AI, because we want to find people who are maybe at a level 2 in terms of digital awareness, get them to 8 wellness, where if we're helping a SaaS company
Hmm.
who might be at an 8 already, there's smaller amounts of value that we can add. So
Sure.
what I see for you is being able, yeah, you can help the shoulder practitioners and things like this,
Hmm.
but there's wellness businesses out there
Hmm.
who are maybe offline in the
Yep.
United States, but they
Yep.
haven't taken that digital transformation or the AI transformation specifically.
Hmm.
And so I think, for example, by you interviewing them, I
Hmm.
think by you, for example, going to conferences, like
Yeah.
wellness conferences,
Yeah. Yeah.
shaking some hands,
Yeah.
like lots of people in my network are like talking about closing 6-figure deals just by networking,
Yeah.
talking to CEOs, grabbing the phone,
Yeah.
like having that type of contact rather than the,
Yeah.
sales funnel, the VSL funnel and things like this. It's taking
Hmm.
that connection, and
Yeah.
you're
You're
all
so
about
right.
wellness.
And ultimately, I mean, these are, especially what I'm focusing on, are people businesses, people-oriented businesses, and that's what I love about that, about it. So you're absolutely right. Is the sales process and marketing and sales process really has to maintain that level of heart-centered, people-oriented feel as well for it to really work. Hmm.
Yeah. What's the main challenge to you scaling what you are doing in terms of your business?
Well, really, right now, I mean, similar to what I'm going to be helping people with, or am helping people with, is the bottleneck of my own capacity and getting myself out of the way, or getting or being able to create the systems within my own operations. Also, I'm going to be in the process of looking for interns currently, and then VAs from there. But also, I specifically want to engage interns because of the field, because of because of this field of AI and automation is such a highly valuable skill that people need. So whether, they're, getting ready to graduate high school or in college years or what have you, a lot of people are going to need these skills. So if they already have an interest and want to, learn more, then, that's what I'm looking to partner with people like that as well.
Yeah. And what I can see as well
Mm-hmm.
is you doing master classes because
Mm.
you're a great educator.
Master classes just for the general audience, for the general.
Yeah, I think it's using more of these ways
Huh.
to use our gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love educating, it's true. It's true, you're right. Being able to, because for me, I mean, I don't come from a tech background. I mean, if you asked me in a year from now if I'd be doing this, I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" But I really came through it through personal experience, and I do have a marketing and some automation, background in terms of systems, but or learning, just by learning about them through out of need because of my own marketing needs. But then when I started getting more and more experience with AI and how extremely practical it is, and not only that, just how creative, like it made me feel more creative. It's not,
100%.
and so I knew that it was expanding my capabilities. not, there's, you can hear both sides of the story. A lot of times in the news, you'd hear the opposite of like, oh, it's dumbing us down, or, it has the potential. But it really depends on how we use it. And so I love personally using it as a way to augment our abilities and inspire us. And it totally has the ability to do that.
No, that makes complete sense.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me, like, what's your process like? If you're gonna break your process down into 3
Yeah.
words, what is that process that gets someone from stuck to
Yeah.
clarity?
We'll assess really, there has to be an assessment process, whether it's assess one particular workflow or the system as a whole, the business as a whole, whatever chunk we want to work with, then it's going to be the workflow analysis, that's similar to assessing, but really getting more in the weeds of of mapping out. So assess and then mapping the workflow, what we're currently doing, and then we can figure out where we can I want to say edit it, where we can adjust it, and optimize it. But and then it's just scaling from there. Once you have, certain systems that are flowing better, okay, then how can we go and what can we add on to that? It's like, oh, all of a sudden now we have some time on our hands, so we can all of a sudden add a new service. Now we can create that course we've been wanting to do. Now we can, do some group work. All kinds of possibilities open up.
Yeah, and I really think that if you can marry up what your passion is to AI,
Hmm.
rather than going against the grain and by serving people in cybersecurity because you think that's where the money is, because I think money is available in all of the industries, right? And so
Hmm.
if you've been serving heart-centered,
Yeah.
you can find a heart-centered angle, then we can find wellness companies doing 2 million, 10 million,
Yep.
20 million, 100
Yeah, you're
million.
right. You're right.
You
Yeah.
know? So there's money in all of the industries, but that money is only really tapped into
Hmm.
when we use EQ over IQ or AI.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. You're right. And that is the balance, that I have in my own, my business processes. Like, okay, you know, to keep, the heart centered and heart human focused, human first, always. Thank you very much, Jay.
No, it's a good insights that we're bringing forward today.
Hmm.
Tell me, what trends are you seeing in the wellness space as to how they can adopt AI? What trends are you seeing?
Oh gosh, I mean, honestly, with probably a few exceptions, I think most businesses are just at beginning stages. And not only AI itself, but in automation. And I don't even know if most people know what I am referring to when I say automation, itself, and even AI. It's a term that's more widely used nowadays, but really hand in hand with automation that's often it can be often found in our like CRMs and our customer management systems. When this is just an example that many entrepreneur business owners may be familiar with is, when a lead, a name, a person, as we call a lead, gets into your system, then you get tagged and then you get emails sent out automatically. So that's just a simple example of an automation. But there can be so many of them, and now combined with the AI tools like ChatGPT and so many others, that then can all of a sudden, you can put in an idea. I don't know if I'm going off on the tangent here. I hope this is answering.
No, it's all good, all good, all good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. But you can put in like a free flow idea that you have, just speaking it. So, for example, it's like, okay, I'm speaking a train of thought that you are like really passionate about, and then all of a sudden it goes through a workflow, and out comes a that you pre-programmed and to be very specific for your voice, for your to know. Your business is not just, I'm not just talking about like any old system, but this, one that's really programmed for you. Then all of a sudden you get, an email. So that's like, and then it can be repurposed for the social media posts and all that. But that's
Mm.
like, you know, so those kind of things where you don't have to sit down and like, okay, where do I start my email? What do I say now? It's like the template's already there that you already created time and time again. And now we're going to, systematize it.
Amazing. And I like what you touched upon because I think as the creative, as the heart centered, as the sort of person, then we can go out, sell, connect, and then on the back end, get people to deliver, get VAs or technical VAs to do the work, or find the people that like to be locked in the dungeon
Yeah.
to do the work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Yeah, there will be some of that, there is some technical elements. Otherwise, if it wasn't technical, then we would have already had done this already. It's like, oh, if it was that easy, everyone would have their businesses, automated and, up to par. But yeah, no, so it does take them technical expertise,
Yeah.
so
Which
yeah.
which can be ultimately outsourced, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the planning is really where a lot of the, and road mapping is really where the
Yes.
more communication, the people oriented element really has to come into play. I have to know what their specific goals are, what parts of their workflow need to stay in the hands of the people working there versus the parts that they can pass on to AI.
So, yeah, let them know
Mm-hmm.
who you're serving specifically. We'll get this
Uh-huh.
on LinkedIn. Actually, we're finding that some people are
Uh-huh.
booking calls just from
Okay.
sharing this sort of content
Okay.
on LinkedIn. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yes. So you'll definitely find me at LinkedIn under my name, Danyel Brisk, and you'll see my business there, Brisk AI Solutions. Website just briskaisolutions.com. And like I said, my focus is wellness or heart centered businesses looking to optimize and scale.
100%. Amazing. Thank you for connecting today, Danielle. It's been amazing and love that you're so open and that you are a lifelong learner. I can
Yeah.
sense that in you, and we
Yeah.
have to connect.
Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely stay connected for sure.
No, sorry. I mean, in general, we have to
Yeah.
connect.
Oh,
Like,
oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We have
Yeah.
to connect, right?
Yeah.
We have to find opportunities. And I
Yeah.
think if you have an edge,
Mm-hmm.
lean into the edge because no one can do it like you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I spend a lot of time also like thinking about, because I've been in the online marketing space, thinking about the right copy and this and that. But ultimately, it's so funny. You're absolutely right. Like none of that will matter once we build that human trust and connection. Yet we still need the online marketing, to be there, nowadays, but it goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Amazing. Could I put it better? Danielle, thanks for
Yep.
connecting today.
Thank you.
Amazing. Danielle.